never told you how I feel about you. I'm going to tell you now. You're amazing. You are beautiful. You are all light. You are all that God is. Whether you know it or not, whether you experience a little bit of it or a lot of it, this is the truth of who you are. And this is why we come together in a place of safety and shelter for our spirit, that we can come to know, experience who we really are by extending that to others. We're in the process of 5 talk series on the 5 principles of unity, and today, obviously, through Nancy's beautiful meditation, we're reminded today is the 3rd principle. And this is where the fun begins, or this is where the fear begins. It's up to you. But you've learned that God is all there is. You've learned that God is all good, everywhere present. And that there is only one power and one presence active in the universe and in my life. That's God, the good, omnipotent. We've also learned that spark of divinity is in every single person, whether we like them or not. That Christ's Spirit is our very essence, and therefore we are inherently good. Everyone is inherently good. For me, it's been a very challenging week. People shooting each other in our country, and everybody making a big deal out of the reason they think why that person committed that violence. And they don't go back to the thought behind what's causing this. The thought system of fear, the thought system of attack. And underneath it all is the thought system of separation. That we are separate from one another, that I can do something to you without doing it to myself. But we're getting beyond all that, and we're teaching a new thought system. And it begins by using the power of your mind. It begins with this principle today, that human beings create their own experiences by the activity of their thinking. Everything that's happening here has its beginning in thought. And as Nancy said, are we just allowing these habitual, random thoughts to rule what we do, to rule our actions? Or are we intentional in putting together the thoughts that create the life, not only that we want, but I'm on a mission to create a life that I was given by God, and to offer that space for you to do the same, so that the world is actually reflecting the laws of God, the laws of oneness, the laws of love. There's no reason for any of this, and you know it. But what do? We keep putting the cause of it out there. No, we have to bring it back. The root cause is the thought system. In the 3rd principle, most people will say, I really like the idea of creating a life that I love and manifesting all these good things for myself, and human beings create their own experiences. But where you stop, and the part you don't like, is everything in the manifest realm has its beginnings in thought. Everything that seems to happen in this world is connected. Can we turn this down a little? I'm getting some feedback. Everything is connected. Everything. Charles Fillmore says thought is actually mental vibration. And each thought is a thing. It's axiomatic in New Thought thinking that thoughts are things, that thoughts are prayers, that what you're thinking is what you're praying for and what you're manifesting. Your thoughts are that powerful. Your mind is that powerful. And if you're not paying attention to your mind and what you're thinking, those random thoughts are going to create a random world for you and random violence. Sorry, but that's how it is. And I am at the point in my life where I refuse to participate in the randomness of the world. I would rather be in the divine order of universal mind. That's what unity is all about, is coming into a divine order of the loving, perfect, universal mind. Principle 3 allows me and gives me full power to do so. Jesus said, all power has been given me in heaven and earth. He was speaking about you. All power has been given to each of you. What are you doing with your power? That's the only question there is. It's obvious to me that we've been teaching thoughts of fear and separation, so we have a world that's manifesting fear and separation. But that's the problem. The solution is equally obvious to me. To maintain thoughts of love and acceptance and unconditional love for everyone. We have something we do here. We love you, we bless you, we behold the Christ in you. Let's do that now. Let's close our eyes for a moment. Let's picture those police officers who acted out of fear and shot those 2 black men, one in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Where was the other one? Minnesota. I used to live near there in Wisconsin. Let's picture those men who acted out of fear. And let's extend our love to them and say it's okay. You don't have to be afraid anymore. And to all our brothers and sisters of color who are walking the streets and driving their cars, let's say to them, it's okay. You don't have to be afraid anymore. And together we'll say to all of them, we love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ in you. And to all those who are propagating the notions of fear in this country and all around the world, let's say to them, you don't have to be afraid anymore. We love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ in you. We give you the opportunity to change your mind. That's all. We give you the opportunity to change your mind about who you are and what you're doing in this world. In preparing this message today, I came upon a fantastic idea, reading a lot of Charles Fillmore and also Ellen Davenport, The 5 Principles. It talks a little bit about, it takes Fillmore's ideas and brings it into a more modern view. It talks a little bit about the quantum field of energy and that it holds all the possibilities. And it doesn't really become a reality for you until you focus your intention on it. The problem with random thinking is that we've allowed our intentions to be pushed down and we've forgotten what they are. And so we develop new habits that aren't intentional at all. I remember when I was talking to Liliana, she said, I've been reading a lot of Eckhart Tolle, and he said, just don't take anything personally. That's going to be your key to peace. And in mindfulness, you just let it be what it is. Don't take it personally, because it's always changing. It's just a reflection, a momentary reflection. The true intention behind the situation for you, the highest good for you from Spirit is already there. And if you don't hold an energy of conflict, of opposition, whatever seems to be happening passes. And what comes forth? The highest good. But not just for you. This is where I want to be in right now in my mind. The highest good for everyone. That's what we're really bringing forth. I see Scott and Faith sitting over here. They've dedicated their lives to that, to being ministers of an energy field, or at least a possibility of stepping into an energy field where the highest good is available now. That's what I want to be about in each and every moment, that your highest good is available now. You step into this vibration. Remember, thoughts are mental vibration. So the more we enhance and magnify those thoughts, join together, the greater that vibration becomes. I can be sitting and having wonderful thoughts about you all day long, but when you join me in those thoughts, wow, it's exponential what happens. It's exponential. What's interesting to me, and I thought of this yesterday, I don't know if anyone's ever coined this phrase before. I call it activated intention. Because a lot of times we have an intention, but we don't activate it. It's just a nice thought. It's a wish. And we can visualize all day long what I want for my life and my spiritual community, but if I don't act upon it, if I don't give it activation, and I would say through giving and love, if I don't give myself to this moment, to this situation, to you entirely, then I'm holding back the true intention. It's not activated. It's just dormant. It's still there, but I need to activate it. When we train ourselves through spiritual living, our response to everything becomes different. Our intentions are activated. It becomes our default response. Rather than responding, our default response as human beings, especially in this day and age in certain circumstances, is fear. And the propagation of fear is increasing because fear seems to motivate human beings. And finally, I look at it and I say, this is ridiculous. The best response I saw on the news about the shootings of the five, I forget the 5 police officers. I didn't forget them. We sent to their families also. Let's send to the 5 police officers and their families also. And every police officer. We love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ in you. The best response I heard to this situation this week was, it's not acceptable that those 2 men were shot, and it's not acceptable that those 5 police officers were shot. It's not an appropriate response. But many think it's the only response because they've been trained to do so. I looked at the young man who was the sniper in Dallas. He was a soldier. He was a 25-year-old black man who was trained to kill people. What do you think he's going to do when the fear takes over his mind? When his default system is to defend himself with a weapon? He's trained himself. He was trained to do that. We need different training. That's all. We need to train our kids. 25 years old. He's younger than my son who's going to visit me today. 25 years old. He's just a kid. And a lot of these shootings are just kids. I don't know if you remember being 25 years old, but I wasn't very mature at 25. And life should be full of wonder and happiness and joy and having fun with your friends, not learning how to shoot people. But we think it's a necessary evil. I'm going to tell you today, my friends, no evil is necessary. God is love and only love. And that's what I want to teach. That's what I am teaching. And I hope you will join me in that. I've heard from the time I was a young child that I want peace on earth, but I don't think I'll ever see it in my lifetime. Listen to those words. I don't think. Exactly. I don't think it will ever happen. I don't think it will ever occur. I don't think we can get guns off the streets. I don't think government can change. I don't think we can feed all of the hungry people. This is your default thought system. It's subconscious. It's in the subconscious mind. But it is not thinking. I think and believe that a powerful shift in consciousness is occurring in the world today. That's what I think. I think that people like you are making a difference in the world today. And I think that all this is happening right now. And it's bringing about a shift and a change in the minds of each and every individual in the world. And I think peace will come to humankind. And I'm not worried about when, because it's happening now in me. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. It's not just a song that I sing. It's something I truly believe. You remember Napoleon Hill. He wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. Let's write a new book. Think and heal the world. Think and let go of all your grievances. Think and don't judge your neighbor. Think and stop talking about people in a negative way. Think about them in a positive light. Think and don't be guilty for your past thoughts. Let them go. Think and know who you are. Think on these things. Think on these things, how beautiful you are and everyone is at their core. If principle number 2 is right, and a law of the universe, then you're giving yourself a chance to be divine. You're giving yourself a chance to be that fully illumined Christ self. But you're not going to do it if you're talking about other people. You're not going to do it if you're judging your neighbor or your enemies, who you believe to be enemies. They're not your enemies. They're teaching you a lesson. They're showing you what you don't want in your thought system. That's great, because now I can turn to what I do want. I can think and heal the world. Remember what Goethe said, the German writer? He said, a man sees in the world what he holds in his heart. And I see that as principle number 3. These are universal principles, laws of the universe. A man sees in the world what he holds in his heart. What are you holding in your heart? What are you making manifest in the world? Now's the time to reach down into your heart of hearts and find the gifts that you have. Give those gifts to yourself. And then give yourself to the world. When you're feeling stressed, depressed, or oppressed, I don't care. Remember one thing. Life is not happening to you. It's happening through you. It's a very simple thing to remember. Life's not happening to me. It's happening through me. Wow. Now the power of my mind and activated intention will bring about the greater things that Jesus talked about. The final thing I want to remind you of is that this guy that we call our way shower, that millions of people pretend to worship, pretend to follow, he said, greater things than I have done will you do. So if you're not doing the greater things, you're not following Jesus. Period. Greater things. Well, he healed the sick, he raised the dead. So am I. And you are too. And you're called to heal the sick, to raise the dead, to make a difference in this world, and to allow things to change through the power of your mind. Life's not happening to you. It's happening through you. I love you. Thank you.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.